Good evening, I'm Ava. Tonight's top story is about one of the most memorable performances of the WNBA season and the powerful, emotional reaction it sparked. Indiana Fever star Kelsey Mitchell delivered the game of her career, scoring 38 points to lead her team to an improbable comeback victory over the Connecticut Sun. Watching from the sidelines, her injured teammate Caitlin Clark summed up the moment with a one-word response on social media. That word was simple but filled with meaning: KLS. The post quickly went viral. Clark, who has missed much of the season with a groin injury, has been forced to play the role of observer and supporter for the past several weeks. But in that single exclamation, she captured what every Fever fan was feeling after Mitchell's performance. It was more than a cheer. It was recognition of a teammate's resilience, pride in a friend's success, and a symbol of the togetherness that defines the Indiana Fever's locker room during a season defined by challenges and adversity. The game itself was one for the record books. The Fever trailed by as many as 21 points in the first half against the Sun, and by halftime, they were staring at a daunting 48-29 deficit. With several key players unavailable, including Clark herself and veteran guards Aari McDonald and Colson, many expected Indiana to fade. Instead, Kelsey Mitchell seized control. In the second half, she exploded offensively, scoring 34 of her 38 points after the break, including a relentless 10 points in overtime. By the time the final buzzer sounded, the Fever had stunned the Connecticut Sun, winning 99-93 in overtime. It was the largest comeback win in franchise history. Mitchell finished with 11 of 22 shooting from the floor, 5 of 8 from three-point range, and nearly perfect at the free throw line, sinking 11 of 12 attempts. Coach Stephanie White, nearly at a loss for words afterward, called the performance speechless. Really. It was a display of determination and leadership that carried Indiana across the finish line. On social media, Clark posted a string of messages praising her teammate. The first, that one-word exclamation of KLS, followed by MVP Kels, and finally, battled. So proud, Red Heart. For Clark, who has become one of the most celebrated athletes in the sport, the message wasn't about herself, but about shining the spotlight squarely on her teammate. In that way, she reinforced the identity of the Fever as more than just one player's team. It's a collective, a group bound by shared commitment, even in the face of daunting injuries. For Mitchell, the performance capped years of steady work as one of the WNBA's most underrated scorers. Drafted by Indiana in 2018, she has consistently put up points, but rarely received the same national attention as some of her peers. With Clark sidelined, this game became her stage, and she responded with brilliance. A three-time All-Star and designated core player this season, Mitchell is proving why she is considered the backbone of the franchise. She not only tied her own career high with 38 points, but also tied the franchise record she previously held. Her ability to shoulder the offensive load, distribute the ball, and maintain composure under pressure made the difference against a tough Connecticut team. The Sun, for their part, saw their season end that night. With the loss, Connecticut was eliminated from playoff contention, a bitter pill for a team that had fought hard all year. But the night belonged to Indiana, and especially to Mitchell, whose fiery scoring run and fearless play symbolized everything the Fever needed. Other Fever players stepped up as well. Odyssey Sims, signed recently on a hardship contract, added 19 points and 7 assists. Rookie sensation Aaliyah Boston posted a double-double with 14 points, 13 rebounds, and 5 assists. Each contribution mattered, but it was Mitchell's relentless scoring that pushed Indiana over the top. The reaction extended beyond Clark's social media. Fans, teammates, and media members across the league echoed her sentiment, praising Mitchell's career night. Sports Illustrated ran a headline declaring that Clark's one-word response says it all, pointing out how her exclamation reflected the spirit of the entire team. Fever fans online expressed their gratitude not only for Mitchell's performance, but also for Clark's continued leadership, even from the sidelines. This game and its aftermath reveals several deeper truths about the Fever season. First, resilience has defined their campaign. Injuries have stripped the roster of some of its most important players, forcing younger and less experienced athletes to fill larger roles. Yet the team has continued to fight, scratching out victories and keeping themselves in playoff contention. Second, leadership in Indiana comes from multiple sources. While Clark has been the national face of the franchise, players like Mitchell and Boston are establishing themselves as equally essential to the team's success. Finally, this moment demonstrated the value of unity. Even in her absence, Clark is engaged, supportive, and proud, using her platform to elevate her teammates. Mitchell's performance may also reshape how fans and analysts view the Fever's future. With Clark recovering from her injury and expected to return stronger next season, Indiana could emerge as one of the most dangerous teams in the WNBA. Mitchell's ability to dominate offensively ensures that the Fever will not be dependent on Clark alone. Instead, they appear to be building a balanced roster where multiple players are capable of carrying the load. For a franchise that has endured years of rebuilding, this is an encouraging sign. The symbolic weight of Clark's single word should not be underestimated. In sports, we often focus on long speeches, inspirational quotes, or elaborate celebrations. But sometimes, one word is enough. Clark's KLS was not polished or rehearsed. It was raw emotion, a spontaneous outpouring of pride and excitement. That authenticity resonated with fans and players alike. It was a reminder that sports at their core are about shared joy and recognition. Looking at the larger WNBA landscape, Mitchell's explosion adds to what has already been an unforgettable season. Attendance records have been shattered, television ratings are up, and new stars are emerging alongside established names. Clark has been a driving force in that rise, but the spotlight is expanding to include her teammates as well. Mitchell's moment ensures that when people talk about the Indiana Fever, they will not only think of Caitlin Clark, but also of the veteran guard who kept the team afloat when times were toughest. For now, the Fever continue to battle through the remainder of the season, sitting on the edge of playoff contention with a record above .500. Their path will not be easy, especially if Clark remains sidelined, but the confidence gained from this historic comeback could serve as fuel in the weeks ahead. Mitchell herself acknowledged the magnitude of the moment afterward, saying she was simply grateful for the opportunity and proud of how the team never stopped fighting. As the Indiana Fever push forward, they do so with the knowledge that their roster is deeper than many imagined, their resilience stronger than doubters believed, and their chemistry unshakable. Kelsey Mitchell's career night was not just about one player scoring points. It was about a team refusing to quit, about veterans stepping up,